pretty much broke the internet in half, which I have many things to say, so you're gonna hear it. Um,
Okay.
so
Explain the situation first.
okay, so variant cover for November's debut of the new Spider-Woman series came out. Uh, for those who don't know, Spider-Woman's getting her own series. During the Spider-Verse event going on in the Spider-Man titles, she'll be basically teamed up with the new Spider-Person Silk. So the series comes out. I don't remember who's writing it, but I know that the artist is Greg Land, and he already is problematic. But then this cover comes out by Italian artist Milo Manara. I hope I'm saying his name right. And he is an erotic artist. This is the kind of art that he does. So the cover came out, and basically you have Spider-Woman on the ledge of a building with her butt spread and in the air. Needless to say, this is a serious problem.
Okay,
Um,
one thing is, it's not even just the butt, the way like the her butt's in the air. It's the way that the butt is drawn. But you can keep
yes.
going.
Yes. So, basically the internet broke over this. I mean, Dan Slott, Mr. Drama Queen himself, had lots to say to defend Marvel, who's paying his bills, and the artist of the variant. And a lot of people came to the defense of the artist, and I feel like a lot of people are missing the point. The point of it is not that he is doing his art, because this is not the first cover he's done for Marvel, and his previous covers have had their issues. They've been a bit gross. Okay? The problem is that why would Marvel hire an artist who does erotica for a mainstream comic that is designed to bring in new female readers? It's the most bizarre choice I've ever seen. Listen, the guy's going to do his art, that's fine. I personally am not a fan of that style because I'm not into looking at women in that way, so I just am not interested in his work. And it's fine, but you already have Greg Land doing the interior art, and he is kind of known for making some very suggestive-looking females. And now you put this variant on top, but then you go and do a panel called Women of Marvel and introduce all these books that are supposed to bring in new female readers, yet you turn them away with a variant that's extremely suggestive and inappropriate for a female-led book. It's just, I already can tell you now, I'm not reading this book. I have no interest in reading it, and I know people are like, well, it's just a variant. Well, it's not really the point that it's a variant and I don't have to see it. The point is that Marvel took like 10 steps back with this cover. I don't know how you can say that this cover is okay for a Marvel book. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's not even a good cover, to be honest. I mean, even
it's ugly.
Yeah, even if it was like, even if her butt wasn't like that, it's just not. It's not a variant that attracts me at all. And I love like covers and variants, and but none of his I mean, I've looked at his work, and like, I mean, I'm looking at the ones that they have here, and not one of his. I think none of his variants interest me, and it's not because of the women in any kind of way. I just don't like his style. Yeah, and it's Dennis Hopeless, the one that's writing the series.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's a fine writer. It's just I don't think Greg Land is the kind of artist that should be doing a book like this, and I definitely don't think Marvel should ever hire an erotica artist to do covers for mainstream books. I mean, I don't see how this gives off the image that you are trying to bring in new female readers, which you desperately need because you and DC are both constantly criticized for the lack of female readership.
So he's done. So the ones he has here is Inhuman and Uncanny X-Force are the ones that I see number ones on. But the covers don't make any sense as to what you're going to read. I mean, I don't get the point of this cover. It doesn't do like it doesn't look good. I mean, I don't understand why Marvel would even want to hire this. Like you keep saying, like, why hire an erotic artist at all? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I'm
trying to like justify it in my head, but are they trying? Like, is this for the grown men that want to see like this type of stuff?
But that's the problem there, because they've marketed this book as another book to gain female readership. They introduced it at San Diego Comic-Con at their Women of Marvel panel.
Yes.
So you clearly are trying to get a female audience, and you put that cover.
Is there a video when this was like released of like the audience's reaction?
It doesn't make sense.
I would love to see like a video of like the reaction. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I don't get it. I'm curious to see how this thing is like selling in pre-orders, because it's just not a pretty book. I mean, it doesn't look pretty from the variant. I'd rather just get the regular cover. I don't even know what the regular cover looks like, but I'm assuming it's gonna be better than this.
The regular cover is okay, but it also is kind of weird because like Silk is in this weird position where her legs are like spread, but she looks like she has no back. It's bizarre. It's not terrible, but it has problems.
So are they trying to sell Spider-Woman #1 as like sex? Is that their goal?
Yes. It almost feels like they have no faith in her selling, so they're trying to market to the horny 18-year-olds.
Yeah, let's throw 2 women on a cover, make that one all really awkward, and then if that doesn't work, we're gonna make a girl with an oddly shaped, an oddly shaped ass. Why would, like, it doesn't make sense as to where she's standing. I mean, maybe they can make it like say, oh, well, she's standing like a spider. I guess.
She's not, because the MarySue.com, they got a lot of criticism, especially from Mr. Drama Queen himself, about publicizing it so much. And, you know, they basically said, okay, you say she's supposed to look like a spider, right? So they took different images of Spider-Man in those kinds of positions, and not once was he positioned in that way. And I can guarantee you now, if they put that, if he tried to do that with a male character, men would be going crazy. And the moment women act up and get upset about it, we get told that it's not a big deal, because that's exactly what's happened.
Jadobi, did this piss you off as well? I mean, this is just like a weird angle for them to take.
I mean, I'm on the lackadaisical side of it, just because I don't have too much interest in Spider-Woman in general. I mean, I like Dennis Upland, and I don't mind Greg Land, but I just, it's, I don't know. I mean, the fact of the matter is the variant is ugly. Like for me, that's just the main thing. It's just ugly. Like when I looked at it the first thing, I didn't even just notice that the whole thing was ugly.
It's like Yeah, it's a very ugly. Yeah. I mean, but that's just a style. I guess I was kind of interested in this series more for Silk. I was curious to see how she would put as a character, and I was just to see what they would do with her. But like Jessica keeps saying, Land, is that his name, Lamb or Land, whatever? He's he said he's known for having these like drawing women in this like risque or odd fashion, I guess. So I'm guessing they're gonna draw inside the comic book like that. I mean, anybody that's listening to this knows like how I had a big problem with the Teen Titans thing. And they did that. It just bothered me. And if I'm gonna be seeing characters like Spider-Woman, who's supposed to be respected, I thought she was a respected character.
She is supposed to be. She's Captain Marvel. You know, she's Captain Marvel's best friend.
But apparently, she's not respected enough to give her, you know, a nice cover or, you know, like respectable cover. I mean, it's different if it's just a position. It's just weird, and I mean, and then the art is, I don't know. It's just like Jadobi said, it's just an ugly cover. It is. It's not even pretty. It'd be different if the color is different, and you can make the watercolor thing work because Elektra has proven that the watercolor use in that is amazing. The watercolor style for Elektra is awesome, and I'm guessing that's the style that he's going for here. It looks kind of like watercolor, but it's just.
This is just the kind of art he does, and I just feel like it. I mean, even if you just don't like the way the cover looks, you cannot deny the fact that this is a horrible example for Marvel to set. I mean, I'm telling you, this book is not going to sell. This book is not. Lots of female readers are already online saying the same thing. They're not going to buy the book. Because clearly Marvel doesn't care. So why should we? And it's already a problem because you know for a fact that lots of comic shops are still really sexist. Lots of harassment happening at conventions, and then you have Marvel basically perpetuating it by putting this kind of cover on the book and then coming out and basically saying it's okay, and then having every other male creator come out and say it's okay. Like, I can't even tell you how many creators I unfollowed and am done buying things from because they were okay with this.
Why do you think Dan Slott is like so pro this? Like, why do you think
Because
he's?
he was basically arguing, okay, well this is his style, so you can't get upset with him for having
Yeah.
his style. He's missing the argument. The argument is not him doing his style. That's fine. He is a long-time creator. He's 68 years old. He's famous for this kind of art. That's fine. The problem is not with Manara. The problem is with Marvel. And he won't say anything bad about Marvel because they're paying his bills. That's why we need more people like Gail Simone, because Gail Simone, she'll work for whoever, and if she doesn't like what they're doing, she's going to just say that. She's done it multiple times. She's talked about how she doesn't feel there's enough female creators at DC. You can talk bad about something and because you want to fix it and still love it. It's criticism in general. You can still love something and see problems within it. But he doesn't do that. He refuses to do that.
I'm actually gonna I'm gonna try my hardest to be at my store, the store that I usually go to on the day that this cover is released, because I want to see the reaction to some of the older gentlemen that are gonna probably buy this. Because I'm guessing I don't know anybody that's even in my age range that thinks this is a cool cover, so I'm guessing they're going after an older audience. But you're saying that they wanted to go after a younger, like a female audience, but
that's what the book is meant for.
I don't get how. Do they see this and they're like, oh, this is a female, this is gonna bring females in? I don't. I mean, do you guys know if this is gonna be their biggest variant? Because you know how they have all these different levels of variants and stuff.
I don't think this is gonna be a big book. I think that is the variant. Sometimes there's only one variant.
Yeah. Sometimes
the variant. I don't think they're gonna go for a huge launch, and I think the buzz around it is so negative at this point that I don't see it selling very much.
I was actually going to bring something up. Do you guys think that Marvel right now is going with the all press is good press mentality?
I don't believe that, so I don't believe in that.
You know how some people go with, hey, you're in the news no matter what. It's kind of some people believe that whatever press you're getting, it's automatically going to help you. The fact that this is getting that controversial press right now, it's getting the name out there. People are saying Spider-Woman #1, Spider-Woman #1, even though it is in a bad way. People are at least saying the name. Maybe Marvel thought that this is the only way that they could get Marvel. I mean, why would you throw him on a book why would you throw him on a book like this, a woman-driven book, knowing that his style is this? I feel like they knew what they were doing throwing him onto this, because it's a female-driven book. It's a book that they're targeting towards female. The other books that he's thrown him on are group books. This time they're like, we're gonna throw you on a female-driven book. And I feel that's just what they're going for. I mean, it makes sense. I think
if that is their mentality, then they need to rethink their marketing, because thanks to female-driven sites like themarysue.com, from what I've seen on Twitter from a lot of female readers and bloggers and stuff, it backfired. There's lots of people who are not buying this book. So, okay, everybody's talking about it, but they're not going to buy it. I'm not reading it. That's
the best way to do that is just don't buy the book. Honestly, I mean, I don't like to say that, but I mean, that's the best way to show Marvel that this isn't going to fly. Just don't buy the book. I mean, or don't buy the variants. I mean, just don't buy them.
And it'll be worse, because when it comes out and people see the interior and they take issue with some of the poses that are done, people are gonna be done with the book. I mean, I just feel like there is room for sexy. I mean, if you read Red Sonja, that is a book where the female lead wears a chainmail bikini, but she never once comes off like an object. And part of that is because Gail Simone writes it, and part of that is because the artist understands what to do. And you see that in New Vampirella as well. Like, she still wears that extremely impractical costume, but she's never hunched over weird, or she's not standing in like a stripper pose. It's just that's what she wears. That's it. Because there's a way to do it. And this is not the way to do it.
It's like what you said. Marvel probably has no faith in this book, and they're just hoping for the best. They're like, we're gonna throw it out there no matter what people say, and hope that this will get people to buy it. I'm guessing. I mean, it's getting people to talk about it. So if they're going with that all press is good press, then they got what they wanted.
Yeah. So
when a guy like Dan Slott, who has a ton of followers, is saying it's okay. I mean.
Yeah. Well.
His fans will be all over it.
He's a different story.